Donovan Campbell, and Drew Rosenhaus.
Hi, everybody. It is that first place feeling in Miami tonight. Welcome to Lexus Sports Extra. I'm Josh Moser. The Dolphins knocking off the Bills in thrilling fashion. Miami now sitting alone atop the AFC East and are the only undefeated team left in the conference. The Dolphins hadn't beaten the Bills in their last 7 tries. We start opening drive for Buffalo, 4th and goal. SoFlo Pro Devin Singletary on the receiving touchdown. Bills up 7-0 at the jump. Ensuing drive for Buffalo, Javon Holland getting to Josh Allen. Melvin Ingram recovers the fumble. The Dolphins are back on the ball inside the Bills' 10. From there, it is a give to Chase Edmonds, his first touchdown as a Dolphin. That tied the game at 7. Fast forward, second quarter, Bills driving again. This time, Allen to a wide open Isaiah McKenzie, another SoFlo Pro. Buffalo now leads 14-7. But back comes Miami. Tua in the red zone finds River Craycraft for the score. Game tied at 14. Ensuing Dolphins possession, scary moment. Tua hit hard by Bills linebacker Mike Milano. Tua wobbly went to the ground after the hit. The Miami QB going straight to the locker room.
I'm good past whatever concussion protocol they had, so I'm good. I don't want to say that I'm a genie and I'm going to feel good tomorrow. We'll see. So we'll go get some tests and then we'll come back tomorrow.
More on Tua later in the show. 3 seconds left in the half. Josh Allen, what are you doing? Throws the ball into the flat to Stephon Diggs. Time expires. Allen knows he messed up. Should have spiked the ball and kicked a field goal. Tua back in the game to start the third, but the Bills offense keeping him on the sideline. 3:50 left in the quarter. 3rd and goal for the Bills. Dolphins bring the pressure. Allen escapes, but all he can do is toss it out of bounds. That would lead to a field goal. To the 4th, the Bills going for 3 again. This ball never true. Off Tyler Bass's foot, it's wide left, and it stays a 3-point game. So the Dolphins can take advantage. 3rd and 22. Tua unloading. He has Jalen Waddle. It's another 100-yard receiving game for him. Miami's inside the 5. From there, it's back to the ground game. Edmonds in for his second score of the day. Miami take its first lead of the afternoon, 21-17 midway through the 4th. Under 9 to play, it gets heated. Allen rips off Christian Wilkins' helmet. The trenches treacherous all game.
It's just competitive out there. You get a lot of guys, you got 22 alpha males on the field. It gets competitive, it gets chippy. It's a division opponent. They've been beating our butts the last, 6 times we played them. It just gets competitive. It just gets chippy. That's just how the game goes when we play each other.
This finish an instant classic. Under 2 minutes to play. Bills decide to go for it on 4th and goal from the 2. Allen short on the throw. Dolphins hold and take over on downs, but the Bills defense forces the 3 and out. Simply no room for Thomas Morstead on the punt. Watch this. Dubbed the butt pump right off the backside of teammate Trent Sherfield. It's out of bounds for a safety in one of the strangest plays you will ever see.
I've never seen a butt pump before. Never seen a butt pump before, man. But I'm sure, Trent is he's very smart, and next time he's going to catch it with his butt cheeks because he got strong butt cheeks.
Tyreek Hill, a national treasure, everybody. 20 seconds to play. 2-point game. Bills need to drive and kick a field goal for the win. Allen gets it to McKenzie, but the Dolphins bring him down inbounds. No timeout, so the clock runs. Buffalo needing to get set, but time will run out. Unfortunately, they don't get off the play. Offensive coordinator and former Canes quarterback Ken Dorsey is all of Bills Mafia right here. The Dolphins stun the Super Bowl favorites, beating Buffalo 21-19.
I need a nap. All right, now I'm awake. What you guys got for me? I think we rallied, and you really look at it, the defense came through, and it kind of tells a picture story of what our team is capable of.
It was definitely tough, but like I said, it was just gritty. Definitely had the mindset just coming in this week and, just rectifying that, because that's not who we are. That's not how we played last week.
Be able to finish the game with 2 unbelievable efforts by the defense. I think I couldn't have written a better script.
Extra points.
Time now to welcome Drew Rosenhaus to Lexus Sports Extra. Thanks for being here every Sunday night. Drew, the city's electrified right now by this Dolphins team. What does this win actually do for this squad for the rest of the season?
Well, you just beat the best team in the NFL, and really this week it was with defense. Last week the offense was unbelievable. So this is a well-rounded football team, and they beat a fantastic squad, and they beat the hottest football player in the game, and Josh Allen, who has looked unbeatable these last two, previous weeks.
You've got some fans saying they beat the Super Bowl favorites. Others are saying, hey, it's just one game. Drew, how much of a measuring stick was this contest? Remember, Buffalo's secondary was depleted.
It's a huge measuring stick. The Dolphins haven't beaten the Bills in years, and the Bills had their way with them. They weren't even competitive with the Bills the last couple of games. I think this is a really big moment for this Dolphin team. They came up huge when they needed to. Allen is known for winning games at the end, and they shut him down. And, this is a club that's 3-0 and playing as well as anyone in the NFL on both sides of the ball.
First place in the division, first time beating the Bills in 8 tries. A scary situation in the second quarter. Tua Tagovailoa tackled illegally. We watched him hit his head hard on the ground. He got up, was dazed. Then it's the Dolphins saying it's a back injury. Drew, how correctly do you think this situation was handled?
Well, you've got to trust that the team is going to do right by their franchise quarterback. In a nutshell, the rules are if a player's diagnosed with a concussion, they're really not supposed to go back in the game. So obviously they brought him in the locker room. I've dealt with the Dolphin doctors and trainers. They do a good job. I've had a lot of dealings with them. I assume that they cleared him, that he did not have a concussion. He went back in the game and seemed to be okay. And obviously it looks like he'll play against the Bengals.
Speaking of that game, what does Miami need to do to get a win in Cincy? What's the key?
Well, it's awfully tough, to come off of, go on the road on a Thursday night game. I think the key is just being a pressure on Joe Burrow. Burrow has had a hard time staying on his feet. They may lead the league in sacks allowed. The Dolphins have a ferocious pass rush, as we saw today. I think if they put a lot of pressure on Burrow, they're going to win this football game. It's as simple as that.
The recipe for success, everybody. The one and only Drew Rosenhaus. Thanks so much. He's the best. Dolphins punter Thomas Morstead is the oldest player on the team at 36. Longtime Saints fourth down specialist, released in 2020 after 11 seasons with the team, then played for the Jets and Falcons last year. He now feels like he has a true second chance in Miami on a contender.
I kind of got emotional after the game. I had a bunch of family here, and it's an awesome opportunity for everybody. It's exciting to be on a team that has a chance. I feel like a valued piece of this team. It really does feel nice to go out and try to perform when the team needs you to do well.
Time now for SoFlo Pros.
South Florida's homegrown NFL talent continuing to make plays all over the field. Multiple SoFlo stars shining in Week 3. We start in New England. Patriots, Ravens. Lamar Jackson doing MVP things once again. 5 touchdowns on the day, including 4 in the air. Ravens win 37-26. To Minneapolis, Lions, Vikings. It's the former Miami Central star Dalvin Cook bouncing to the outside for the score. Big day from him. Same game. Great protection for Kirk Cousins. Too easy for KJ Osborne. Former Cane 5 catches for 73 yards in the score to lead the team. The Vikings love players from South Florida. Final ticks of the game. Jared Goff on the Hail Mary. It is intercepted by North Miami's own Josh Metellus. The former Flanagan star seals the victory 28-24. Let's go to baseball. The Don Mattingly managerial era with the Marlins will end after the season. Donnie Baseball and the Fish franchise agreeing to, quote, mutually part ways. Mattingly, leading this team for the past 7 seasons, will stay on board for the final 10 games this year. For more on this move, we bring in our Donovan Campbell. D, the second half of the season has been awful. How surprised are you by the move?
I mean, Josh, tell you the truth, you got to think with an expiring contract and a franchise which continues to rebuild, Don Mattingly was frustrated and probably saw the writing on the clubhouse wall and decided to mutually part ways with the Marlins. With just 10 games left, come season's end, the winningest manager in Miami Marlins history is calling it quits.
It's time for a new voice, right? You know, it's time I think it's best for the organization, quite honestly, that we have a new voice and move forward.
During Don Mattingly's 7 seasons in Miami, he went 437 and 583, which includes winning the National League Manager of the Year in 2020 after getting Miami to the playoffs for the first time since 2003.
Through the up and downs, through the good season in 2020, a lot of up and down during that year, and I'm really happy that I got to play baseball in front of Donnie Baseball.
But other than that one winning season under Mattingly, the franchise's constant rebuilding didn't give Donnie Baseball much to work with.
I came here to build something, and hopefully in something that was sustainable, that when you left here you felt like, okay, the organization's in a great spot. I came here with loads of hitting and stacked lineup, and then we've kind of flipped the script a little bit. We haven't swung the bats as well. And produced hitters. We've been producing pitchers ever since.
Beloved among the fan base and media, while it's uncertain what the future holds for the 61-year-old skipper, Mattingly's absence will sure be felt.
Donnie's a great person, great coach. There's so many good things I could say about him. It's frustrating, to hear the news, and this is what it is.
And after a frustrating season, the Marlins will be heading into the offseason with much work to do. Now they will have to also add a managerial search to the list.
Got to think Donnie Baseball, you're a Yankees fan. Does he go back?
I wouldn't mind it, I'll tell you that.
Yeah,
and I love the guy. Great guy. I'm going to miss him for sure.
Definitely. Thanks so much, Donovan. Marlins looking for the sweep over the Nationals tonight. Top 4 Nationals have the steal on no one home at second. Washington gets a freebie to go up 2-0. Top 8, it's a 3-0 game. Check that. Make it 4. This ball will find life in left. J.J. Bleday throwing home. It is way offline. Marlins fall in an uninspiring effort, 6-1. Just 3 series remaining for the Fish. It's 2 games in New York against the Mets beginning Tuesday. Off day tomorrow. Coming up on Lexus Sports Extra, what happened to the Canes against Middle Tennessee? We bring in insider Manny Navarro. Plus, LeBron James and Drake produce a hockey documentary that features one of the Panthers stars. That story and more coming up after the break. Middle Tennessee shocking the Canes this weekend at home. Starting quarterback and projected first-round NFL draft pick Tyler Van Dyke was pulled in the second half. Miami paying the Blue Raiders $1.5 million to beat them on their home field. This is the first bad loss of the Mario Cristobal head coaching era at the U. This was never close. Middle Tennessee stayed in control throughout. Their head coach, Rick Stockstill, played for Bobby Bowden as a quarterback at FSU, and coach leaving receipts after this upset win.
I can promise you my phone's blowed up with text and whatever from my Florida State pals. I know Tallahassee, I know they're pretty excited about, the mighty Blue Raiders kicking these Hurricanes' tail, because we kicked their tail, and I ain't afraid to say it. There was no fluke to this. We were the tougher team here tonight.
For more on this game and the Canes, we bring in our insider, Manny Navarro from The Athletic. Manny, thanks for joining us. So much to unpack. To start, who's most to blame for this loss?
Great question. I want to put some of it obviously on the coaching staff, because I think right now you look at this offense, they're not feeling very comfortable with what it is they're doing, being a primary running team. I think that's sort of what's led to Tyler Van Dyke's struggles this season. He's not running the same offense. But at the same time, too, this has been going on now for 2 decades, where this football team, you can change the coaches, the players just keep letting you down, and they admitted it after last night's game.
Let's talk about Tyler Van Dyke. He was benched in the second half of this game. Many project him to be a first-round draft pick. Is it an open quarterback competition now with Jake Garcia?
Has to be. He'd be the first to tell you he's struggling with his accuracy. He's not throwing the ball the way that he needs to. And frankly, when Jake won in the game yesterday in the third quarter, the offense came to life. The whole team came to life. And they started to make somewhat of a comeback against Middle Tennessee. But I think right now they have to do what's best for this team. They're 2-2. They're about to enter ACC play. I think right now Jake Garcia is the better quarterback.
What's your biggest concern moving forward?
Do they let this eat them up the rest of the season, or do they come out and play like the team that we saw against Texas A&M for most of the night? And I don't mean the offensive struggles. I meant defensively. The letdown really for me on Saturday was the blown coverages, the amount of deep passes and big plays the defense gave up, and the fact that they never really showed much heart as they were getting put away in that game. So to me, that's the number one issue. Can they stop anybody? Because if they can't, we know this offense is still a work in progress. But if they can't stop anybody, then this may not even be a bowl team this year.
Let's talk about that a little bit more in depth, Manny. What would determine a successful season now after these 2 losses for this team this year?
Yeah, I mean, we were talking about winning the division title with the talent they had, but that was assuming that Tyler Van Dyke and this offense would be what they were last year, and that's clearly not the case. So I think at this point for Mario Cristobal, it's making sure that you keep these guys together. They show up and they play every single Saturday the way that they did for Manny Diaz at the end of last season. So that to me is the number one thing. Can you keep this team together? Can you get to a bowl game? Can you finish with some level of respect after such an embarrassing defeat? This might be one of the worst losses, if not the worst loss in UM history.
Hopefully they can rebound. Manny, we appreciate the time and the insight as always. Thank you so much.
Thanks, Josh.
Manny Navarro, let's talk hockey. Preseason games start this week for the Panthers. The grind just beginning ahead of this long season for the Cats. Panthers making the playoffs each of the last 2 years. And the Cats sick of going against each other at practice. Florida is ready for another opponent other than themselves.
The excitement is not to have another practice. I think that's the true excitement here. But we'll look at some players that will be future Florida Panthers that will probably then get loaned or returned to their other teams. And then we'll also look at the players that are competing for the open slots.
Mike is here, everybody. And Mike, this week he spoke to a Panthers player whose story is being shared on the silver screen. What a finish at Hard Rock. Dolphins-Bills goes down to the final play. It's Miami's first win in 8 tries against their division rival and this year's Super Bowl favorite. 17 seconds left. Josh Allen gets it to SoFlo Pro Isaiah McKenzie. He breaks for the sideline, trying to get out of bounds, but the Dolphins D doesn't let him get there. That means the clock runs Buffalo, unable to get a final playoff. The Dolphins D holds, winning the game 21-19.
I knew T-Bass's range, so I was trying to get out of bounds, also get upfield, and try to still get out of bounds. It was 9 seconds left. I was trying to get to the hash, and I kind of got bumped and threw the ball to the ref, and it just went down from there. But if I could take it back, I'll probably just go upfield, saying get down, put it on the hash myself, and then live fighting it down.
Let's go around the league for the best in week 3 to the nation's capital. Eagles Commanders in D.C. second quarter. It's the Eagles version of the Bama connection. Jalen Hurts to Devontae Smith. What a catch. The Commanders would force a 4th and goal. Hurts has Smith once again. This time in the corner of the end zone. Smith finishing with a career-high 169 receiving yards. Eagles win 24-8. Philly and Miami are the only 2 3-0 teams right now in the NFL. To golf, final day of the President's Cup at Quail Hollow. Love this track in Charlotte, North Carolina. Sunday, all singles matches. That means it's all about the putter. Jordan Spieth, a winner in all 5 of his matches. Xander Schauffele putting down the winning putt. The Americans taking the President's Cup from the world team 9 consecutive times. We are 5 minutes to midnight, but we're not done yet. We'll see you on the other side of the break for the big finish. Keep it locked. Big finish NASCAR circuit. Andrew Grady going to blows with Davey Callahan. Callahan wrecking Grady in the race, and the driver wasn't ready to walk away.
And I wanted to talk to him, and he flipped me off. So I started Mike Tyson in his head. I mean, you're in a big boy sport. When you recommend, you can take a grown man ass whipping. That's how I feel.
Mike Tysoning his head, line of the night. More importantly, huge win for the Dolphins. Miami is 3-0 to start. 75% of teams with that record go on to make the playoffs. Dolphins will try to get their first postseason win in more than 20 years. Heat also start tomorrow with Media Day, training camp Tuesday. And for those that celebrate, Happy New Year. On behalf of Donovan, Drew, Manny, and Mike, I'm Josh Moser. Thank you so much for staying up late with us and watching Lexus Sports Extra. Welcome to Monday. Have a great start to your week, everybody. Good night.